Okay, I'm going to show you how to cut some windows that you can use for viewfinders or for templates for tracing out uniform squares and circles. Okay, so you're going to create these two things right here. This is a 3-inch circle and this one is a 3-inch square, and they're just on index cards or any kind of thicker kind of paper that you have around. They don't even have to be white. Okay, so you're going to make these. I have some index cards right here, and the best way to cut out the 3-inch circle is by simply tracing in pencil the inside of any masking tape or drafting tape. That happens to be a 3-inch circle, and then simply using your X-Acto knife to cut it out. And the best way to cut a curve, which is something that you're going to be doing quite frequently, is to put the X-Acto knife onto your line, of course using a softer cardboard sort of backing sheet so you don't dull your blade or harm a nicer surface. You're going to make sure that you're on this cardboard or something like that. And instead of just moving the knife around, you're going to move the paper as well to get a curve. And it's really important that you have your blade be really super sharp when you're doing this so that you can have a nice clean edge. And so you're just going to cut all the way around your circle that you marked. And you notice I'm moving the paper just as much as I'm moving the blade, taking it nice and slow, trying to mimic that curve, just like this. Okay, so you've got a nice circle template right here, and you'll be using these periodically. So once you make them, save them so you don't have to make them time and again. For the 3-inch square template, again, you're going to have to do some measuring here to create that 3-inch square, but it's just as simple as this. On an index card, using a pencil, you're going to mark out your, let's see, your 3-inch square. And again, it doesn't matter if this card has a bunch of pencil marks on it, because you're really only using it, the really only important thing about it is the hole that you've cut in it. So if it's got a bunch of extra pencil marks on it that you've had to use to make your square, that's not a big deal. This is simply a tool for you. So let's see, here and here. Again, I'm marking twice at my measurements for my 3-inch square so that I can be sure that it is in fact a square with right angles. And so I'm going to go here, and you notice I have quite a few pencil marks on here. I don't know if you can see that, but it doesn't matter because I'm cutting out the square, and really the only thing that I'm concerned about is the square that I'm going to cut out here of the middle. And then here's where your metal ruler comes in quite handy, because you're going to line that ruler up right up against your pencil mark, and you're going to use your X-Acto knife to cut out the square right from the middle of the index card, right? And so for this, in this instance, you're going to be using these little windows to create some exercises that I've listed under the exercise content area of Unit 3. And you'll be using these to make your shape equations. So I'll show you one example of how to do that, just so you know what these are being used for. So I've got my templates here. I've got these templates that I cut out, my 3-inch square and my 3-inch circle. So when I go to do my shape equations, I'm going to be using a blank sheet of paper. Put this out of the way. Blank sheet of paper, and let's say that, so for the first one, let's say I'm making circle plus circle. I'm making a new shape that is circle plus circle, and when you read the exercises you'll understand exactly what I'm talking about. So in pencil you're going to make some kind of interesting arrangement of a circle plus another circle. This one's real simple, just like the one in the workbook. that you have from the bookstore. So circle plus circle would mean that I would then have to eliminate, I'll use a better eraser, eliminate this part. And so my new shape would be something like this. So I've created a new shape by adding two circle shapes together. And so my new shape would simply be this. And I'm going to trace this out. So circle plus circle would yield a new shape that looks something like this. And you can imagine doing that with the square and combining the square and the circle in different formats. So let's look at what it would be like to, say, subtract a piece of square from a circle. So again, I'm going to take a plain sheet of paper and I'm going to use this template. So I'm going to take a circle and I'm going to subtract a little piece of square. So here's my circle, and I'm going to see what I can do to subtract a little piece of square from this. So I'm going to take out a little piece of square right here. Maybe I'll take out another little piece of square, maybe right over here. Maybe that'll make an interesting sort of new shape situation for me. So I've subtracted two little pieces of square from my circle shape. So that would mean that I'm getting rid of these little bites of square out of this circle. And so my resulting shape in this case would be this. A circle that's had two little pieces of the square shape taken away from it. So that would be circle minus square. Okay, so that's all there is to it. And so you'll use these templates, the 3-inch square and the 3-inch circle, to complete those exercises for Unit 3.